All right. Terence Crawford with the subtle call out of Errol Spence Jr. again in the lead up to the Errol Spence Jr. Shawn Porter fight. Man, let's talk about that and something that Shawn Porter said about Terence Crawford in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also, want to say thank you to everybody that supports and comes through the live streams that we do on Monday through Friday, right around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sunday for OG Boxing Talk, where we have my co-host, the boxing historian Blood Boxing historian Curtis Anderson, and my co-host KQKC, where we talk about OG boxing, old school boxing, current boxing, political issues. I think you'll enjoy the conversation a lot Sunday mornings. Now let's get into this. We got a unification fight in the welterweight division coming up on September 28th against Errol, the Truth Spence Jr., the IBF welterweight champion, and Shawn Showtime Porter, the WBC welterweight champion and the former IBF welterweight champion. Big fight, big unification fight. Gonna do a breakdown of the video of the fighting styles as we get closer to the fight. So keep your eye out for that, because we'll talk about exactly why I think Errol Spence Jr. is gonna win. I'll cut to the chase and give you that. But Terence Crawford was on his Twitter, and I looked at Twitter today. I don't really like to spend a lot of time on Twitter, because the more I'm on Twitter, the more I realize a lot of you guys that are been blocked from the channel for talking real crazy thrive in Twitter land. So I had some really interesting conversations out there, and it's fun, but only do it so often. But I did look at Terence Crawford's feed this morning, and Terence Crawford linked to a video clip of his last fight that he had. I think the last fight that he had was Amir Khan. And he said, you guys know who I want to fight. And then the clip said him saying, I want the fight that everybody's talking about, Errol Spence Jr. Now, Errol Spence Jr. says he wants to fight Terence Crawford after he gets done with Shawn Porter. I think Errol Spence Jr. also wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. Said he would love the Manny Pacquiao fight. Shawn Porter says something a little bit different, and I interpret that, and I believe that Shawn Porter will definitely not fight Terence Crawford. And if he's able to beat Errol Spence Jr., he's definitely look for the Manny Pacquiao fight. But if he's not able to get the Manny Pacquiao fight, he's not going to fight Shawn Porter. Getting through fire one time, I do believe, is enough for Shawn Porter. I don't think he's going to try that with Terence Crawford. And also, I don't really think that, and I think that if Errol Spence Jr. wins, I think that the likelihood of a fight between Errol Spence and Crawford is about as likely as a fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. And if Shawn Porter loses to Manny Pacquiao, I do believe is going to fight Mikey Garcia, but I believe that Manny Pacquiao would fight Shawn Porter again before he fights Errol Spence Jr. So Terence Crawford, I think, is in a situation where he can get where he might be able to get where he wants. At the first glance at the welterweight division, it looks like there's a lot of options on the PBC side for Errol Spence Jr. And there is, right? There's Danny Garcia, there's Ugas, there's Porter, there's Pacquiao, there's Thurman. There are a lot of options out there. But if you listen to what Errol Spence Jr. says that he wants to do, he says that he wants to clear out the division. And if he beats Shawn Porter, he'll have two of the belts, the IBF and the WBC. That leaves the WBA and if you count it, the WBO. And Errol Spence Jr. obviously counts it because he said Terence Crawford is a part of that puzzle. Having the WBC and the WBA, the WBC and the IBF, how's he going to get the WBA? Manny Pacquiao, I don't believe, is going to fight him. And Manny Pacquiao showed that when he decided to fight Keith Thurman instead of fighting Errol Spence Jr. Manny Pacquiao was in the ring, and I'm going to bring this up. I know it doesn't, there's a lot of Manny Pacquiao fans that don't like it, but Manny Pacquiao got into the ring with Errol Spence Jr. and said, and Errol Spence Jr. said, after Manny Pacquiao tried to get out of the ring real fast, it's like, hey, waved to the fans and tried to get out. And Errol was like, hold on, come here. Me and you got to fight. I need to call you out. Come back here. And then Manny Pacquiao said something that I liked a lot. He said, and told you what was going to happen. He said, yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? And I thought to myself when I heard that, you just came out, Senator Pacquiao. You just used, that was very political. He didn't say yes. He didn't say, yes, I want to fight you. That was not an affirmative. He answered it with another question. He answered a question with the question. You can't get more political than that. I want to fight, let's fight. He says, oh yeah, why not? See, that can be confused and that could be interpreted as he's open to it. And then you got to go from he's open to it and then assume because he's open to it that he means yes, he will. But that's not what he said. What he said was why he asked the question, why not? He could have sat there and waited for an explanation. And Errol Spence could have said, there's no reason why we shouldn't. So will you? Yeah. Yes. Or I'll think about it. That was the best. That was what he did when he was called out in the ring. Now, it's not surprising to me that there is a likelihood that Manny Pacquiao will fight Mikey Garcia. And that's what I believed that Manny Pacquiao was there to see. He was there in Dallas to see. He was invited, obviously, because, he's going to be doing pay-per-view shows. He is a pay-per-view star for PBC. And at the moment, he's PBC's #1 pay-per-view star. And quite honestly, the #1 pay-per-view boxing star in the world. When you consider the price, the number of views he got against Keith Thurman and the price of the ticket, right? And the fact that Canelo Alvarez is no longer on pay-per-view. So he was there to get his face, to publicize the fact that he was with the PBC, that he's a fighter and you can look for him to have more fights coming up. But if he was going to fight the winner of that fight, the winner of that fight was going to be Mikey Garcia. It wasn't going to be Errol Spence. Errol Spence Jr. is all kind of wrong for Manny Pacquiao at this point in his career. And I believe he's all kind of wrong for Manny Pacquiao at any point in time in his career because they're both southpaws and Errol Spence Jr. can switch between somebody that can fight on the back foot and somebody that is a real come forward fighter. Not like a Joshua Clottey that's going to plod forward and just cover up and let Manny Pacquiao throw punches on him, but a highly amped up version of it who is going to be coming forward with very, very, very crisp jabs, counter punches on the inside, and keep a pressure on a Manny Pacquiao and not allow him to jump in and jump out and fight when he wants to. Manny Pacquiao is going to let his hands go, and Errol Spence Jr. is going to let his hands go. Errol Spence Jr. is highly defensively responsible with those, and by I mean defensively responsible, you're not going to get easy, clean shots off on Errol Spence Jr. more than in one time, and you're definitely not leaping in from the outside with a straight left hand on a southpaw who, when you do that, you'll be jumping straight into their jab. So that's a bad matchup for Manny Pacquiao. I don't see that. I don't see him doing that. I do think though that the only holdup of the Terence Crawford fight then happening if Manny Pacquiao doesn't take it is if two things. If Manny Pacquiao fights Terence Crawford, which we know ain't gonna happen, and for various reasons, he was with Top Rank and he didn't do it, or Bob Arum not making the fight with Terence Crawford and wanting Terence Crawford to go on this world tour that he's taking him on. to Australia. I think he wants him to fight in Australia, is what Bob Arum said. But, you know, I hope not. I hope that we can get the fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. after the Shawn Porter fight. Otherwise, you know, I think Errol Spence is going to be in a situation where he's going to be he's a big star now. There was 600,000 people that watched the face-off on Countdown between him and Shawn Porter. So maybe now that he's at the level, especially if this pay-per-view between him and Shawn Porter does well, that Danny Garcia will fight him. Or now, isn't that crazy? That maybe Danny Garcia will fight him. That happens when you got a good advisor that assists you with getting enough money where you can pick and choose and turn down $3 million fights. But, you know, anyway, I hope that fight happens between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. I'm really happy that Terence Crawford said something about it. This would be the the number one welterweight in the world against the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. And I'm telling you, I was waffling on whether it was Errol Spence Jr. or whether it was Terence Crawford or whether it was Canelo Alvarez. I'm not waffling anymore because I've got to be consistent with this PED stuff because of what's going on in the heavyweight division. You know, being a huge Canelo Alvarez fan, I kind of turned half a blind eye to the Combuterol. You know, if it happens once, you know, shame on them. If it happens twice, shame on you. So it happened one time. He said he ate the temptated meat. You know, I didn't really, you know, I'm not completely forgiving the guy for it because, hey, man, you got enough money not to be eating that. But now after all that stuff happened after all these guys that have tested positive in the heavyweight division, I mean, think about how many guys have tested positive in the heavyweight division that are top fighters. Luis Ortiz, Alexander Povetkin, Hughie Fury, Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Jarrell Big Baby Miller. You know, you've got rumors of therapeutic use exemptions out of Anthony Joshua. You know, I just can't do it. And so when people get test positive, man, I just got to demote them, and it's just got to be what it is. That has Terence Crawford at the top for me, along with his excellent resume. So hopefully we can get these guys in the ring and they can fight. You let me know what you think in the comment section about when and if you think that's going to happen. And with that, I'm out. Peace.